The small-town diner on the corner of Main Street was nothing extraordinary from the outside. Its neon sign buzzed faintly every evening, inviting in locals and travelers alike. The staff knew almost every regular by name, and despite its simple menu of burgers, fries, and milkshakes, the place carried a warmth that couldn't be faked. Among the waitresses who worked there, Sarah Miller stood out. She was young, hardworking, and full of kindness that spilled into every interaction she had. Even on the toughest days, she carried herself with a smile that made customers feel valued. For Sarah, it wasn't just about taking orders and carrying trays. It was about making people feel welcome. Sarah's life had never been easy. Growing up in a struggling family, she learned early the value of work. After finishing high school, she couldn't afford college, so she started taking shifts at the diner to help her mother with bills and to support her younger brother, who was still in school. She dreamed of someday becoming a manager or maybe even running her own restaurant. But for now, the diner was her lifeline. She often worked double shifts, barely slept, and skipped her own meals so she could make sure her family had enough at home. The diner's owner, Mr. Harrison, was a wealthy man who had multiple businesses. He rarely visited the place and usually relied on a manager to run daily operations. But lately, customer complaints had begun to pile up and sales were dropping. Known to the staff, Mr. Harrison had decided to conduct a secret test. Inspired by the television show Undercover Boss, he disguised himself as a scruffy, middle-aged man looking for work. With dyed hair, old glasses, and a rough beard, he applied as a dishwasher under the name Tom. None of the employees knew who he really was. On his first day, Tom struggled to keep up with the pace. He was slow, confused, and clearly inexperienced. The kitchen manager barked at him several times, rolling his eyes and calling him useless. Some of the other staff whispered and laughed behind his back, treating him as if he were a burden. But Sarah noticed his nervousness and decided to step in. During her break, instead of resting, she quietly showed him how to stack the dishes, where to find supplies, and how to use the old washing machine that often jammed. She spoke kindly, reassuring him that everyone had a first day and mistakes were normal. Over the next few days, she continued to help him. When others mocked him for dropping plates or forgetting instructions, she defended him, telling them everyone deserved patience. She even covered for him when he fell behind, staying late after her own shift to make sure his tasks were finished. To Sarah, it wasn't about impressing anyone. She simply believed in treating people with compassion, but not everyone appreciated her efforts. The assistant manager, Lisa, had always been jealous of Sarah's natural connection with customers. Lisa liked control and preferred to look good in front of upper management. When she saw Sarah spending time helping the new dishwasher, she grew annoyed. To her, it looked like Sarah was wasting time and slowing down service. One evening, after a particularly busy shift, Lisa confronted Sarah in front of the staff. "You're not here to babysit dishwashers," Lisa snapped. "If you can't focus on your tables, maybe this job isn't for you." Sarah tried to explain that she was only helping so the kitchen wouldn't fall behind, but Lisa wasn't interested in hearing excuses. Later that night, Lisa called Mr. Harrison's office phone and left a report, accusing Sarah of neglecting her duties, distracting other employees, and slowing down operations. The next morning, Sarah arrived at work only to be called into the office. Lisa sat there with a smirk as the regional supervisor delivered the news. Sarah was fired. The words hit her like a punch to the stomach. She had given her everything to the diner, sacrificed her time, her health, even her dreams, and now she was being discarded as if she meant nothing. With tears in her eyes, she collected her apron and quietly walked out, her coworkers staring in silence. Some felt she didn't deserve it, but nobody dared to speak against management. That night, Sarah sat in her small apartment with her mother and brother. She tried to put on a brave face, telling them she would find another job soon, but inside, she felt broken. What hurt most wasn't losing the paycheck, though that would be hard. It was the injustice of being punished for simply helping someone in need. But fate had other plans. The very next day, Mr. Harrison, still disguised as Tom, called a staff meeting. He had seen enough during his undercover week to realize the true state of his diner. The lack of teamwork, the unkindness, and the way his managers treated employees shocked him. But more than anything, he couldn't stop thinking about Sarah. She had been the only one who had gone out of her way to help him, not knowing who he really was. She had shown the heart and leadership he wished his managers had, standing before the confused staff. Tom slowly removed his disguise. Gasps filled the room as everyone realized who he was. Lisa's face went pale. Mr. Harrison revealed his true identity and explained why he had come undercover. He recounted everything he had witnessed: the mocking, the harshness, the lack of care. But then his voice softened as he spoke of Sarah. "There was one person here who treated me with dignity," he said. "One person who gave her time, her patience, and her kindness without asking for anything in return. That person is Sarah." Lisa shifted uncomfortably, trying to defend herself, but Mr. Harrison cut her off. "I reviewed the report you filed. You claimed Sarah was a distraction. From what I saw, she was the only one holding this place together." The room fell silent. Then Mr. Harrison made an announcement nobody expected. "Sarah Miller was unfairly fired yesterday, effective immediately. She is rehired and not as a waitress. I am promoting her to manager. From this day forward, she will lead this diner." Tears welled in Sarah's eyes as the staff erupted in applause. She could hardly believe it. Less than 24 hours earlier, she had walked out humiliated and heartbroken, convinced her kindness had cost her everything. Now that same kindness had changed her life. Lisa was dismissed from her position, and Mr. Harrison personally apologized to Sarah for the way she had been treated. "You are the kind of leader I want, representing this business," he told her. "Compassion and integrity matter more than anything else." In the weeks that followed, Sarah transformed the diner. She introduced fair schedules so no one was overworked, encouraged teamwork, and reminded everyone to treat each other with respect. Customers noticed the difference immediately. The diner became busier than ever, not just for the food, but for the atmosphere of warmth and care that Sarah nurtured. For Sarah, the promotion was more than just a new job title. It was proof that doing the right thing, even when it seemed unnoticed, could lead to unexpected rewards. She didn't let bitterness from her firing consume her. Instead, she led with the same kindness that had gotten her there, and every time she walked through the diner, hearing laughter, seeing teamwork, and watching customers leave with smiles. She knew one thing for certain: helping someone, even when it cost her everything, had been the best choice she ever made.